gathered half a dozen of the community's top coin-making market gurus as we combine our knowledge to put together one video covering everything you need to know, from fodder trading to meta trading to icons and much, much more. Welcome to the Ultimate Trading Guide.
You might know me as Jake Fodder Trading on Twitter.
Hey guys, it's Nate, aka the Foot Account.
Oosh, Ellie96, how are you doing, the boys?
Hello, my name is John Sims.
Hi everyone, I'm Horatio.
You already know me, but I still wanted to be part of the montage. We're going to be covering all types of budgets, all types of methods, and nobody better to start us off than the man who already has over 20 million coins in EAFC 24. Jake Fodder Trading is going to take you to understanding the meta market.
Hey guys, it's Jake. You might know me as Jake Fodder Trading on Twitter. I've been on YouTube before, but not for a while. But when Sean comes in contact with me and we want to collab on something, always want to be sure to connect with him. He helped me get started in the scene, and I really appreciate that. So I always want to give back where I can. Today, my responsibility is to kind of teach you guys when to buy your teams or when to buy meta cards regarding Weekend League or making profit around that. So I want to get started right here with Marcus Rashford, and the reason I have him up on my page is simply because I want you guys to start to find a market indicator card. And what I mean by that is if you find one of the most popular cards in the game, and for this I always use Footbin Popular, Rashford's always one of the top ones up there, so he's one of the most popular players in the game, super highly meta. He's at a nice price point where he can be relatively affordable, but he's still high end. And he is going to be telling of how the market is moving on a day-to-day basis. So if I go to his graph today, hourly, you can tell that the market in general, and this is just following Rashford, is going up today. He was around 180K kind of as a baseline. He's 193K now. And overall, the market is kind of universally moved the exact same way. Like if you ever track like the market by the points, or any other players, you're really going to find the same thing most of the times. The market is up today. That makes sense. Today is, I'm recording this video and it's a Thursday and Rivals Rewards came out. So people are getting coins in their account. They're completing SBCs and the market is trending up. Now, it's not trending up significantly, right? Where like if we actually bought him, say at like 179, 180, 193, you're only making a few K profit a card, and on a 200K card, it's not that significant. And a lot of golds move that way today on a Thursday, and you can kind of see like Sun, he's up a little bit. He's leaked to be in Trailblazers too. Tonali, he's basically just slightly up, break even. Varane is another one that's a pretty good indicator. And you could get him for like 88, 87, and now he's 91. So again, the market is in slight profit if you were looking to buy, but I'd like you to start using a card like Varane or Rashford just to see where the market's heading. So to keep it simple, if Varane or Rashford are down, the market is probably down. If they're up, the market is probably up. So keep an eye on them. It's going to really help you indicate kind of where the market is moving. Now, I wanted to get into when you should buy players in Weekend League to either profit or for your team. So I'm looking at a graph here from last Friday, and what you need to know going into every single Friday, especially if there's a promo, is you got to ask yourself the question is, are people saving packs for this promo? And for Trailblazers, Team 1, it actually got super duper hyped up. The team was pretty strong, right? So if I'm going to go here, I'm going to take a quick beat. Trailblazers Team 1 was pretty strong with Mbappe, Griezmann, Hansen, Koundé. So it got pretty hyped up on Twitter. Now, Bellingham. Now, they are pretty expensive, Salah. But people save packs in hopes they could pack them. That happens every time, even if the chances aren't even higher. But people are always going to gun for it. So what happened last Friday, and I have the graph up right on Friday here, is Walker started the day, and he was like floating around, call it like 103,000 coins. And this was going into content, okay? And Walker I love because there's really no better Premier League right back. And a lot of people are rocking Prem teams, right? So if people want to upgrade to the best card they can as a Premier League right back, they're grabbing Kyle Walker most of the time. So what happened on that Friday is he started like at 103, 104, 105K. But right after content, people ripped open packs. And they had 10, 20, 30, 50 maybe even saved packs on their account from rivals, marquee matchups, etc. And his price absolutely plummeted, and he went down to 92k. And I was on the market this day, guys. So I want to tell you that he was even buyable for like 85 to 87k. Footbin won't even catch those lows when they're super duper sharp for an hour or two. But you can see that after he dropped to say like 87, 88k, later he rebounded all the way up to like 107. So there was an amazing opportunity for profit there. And the main reason that worked is because people were saving packs. Now, how do you know if people are saving packs? Well, Foot Champs starts early Friday. So with the new reward system, and I have it up on my page here, people are getting pretty darn good rewards. I actually like them better than last year. And what you're going to see is if people are ripping open these packs from Foot Champions, the market's actually going to start taking a dip rather than a rise like Friday afternoon, because people are going to be packing cards like Sun or Leao or Walker in these 3 times 1 of 4, 84 plus, etc. 85 times 3 packs, etc. You know, they're tradable, so they're coming on the market. So if people are not saving packs, cards are going to go down on Friday afternoon before content. But if they're saving, they're actually going to rise or kind of stay the same in price. And that's what I was noticing was happening with this Kyle Walker. He was just staying really flat right around that 100k mark, not going up or down. So I knew people were saving packs and that around content was a good time to buy. Now, if you see people are not saving packs, guys, and are kind of ripping them as they're playing Weekend League and as they're getting going, the better time to buy is actually going to be late on Sunday or Saturday nights. And this typically works really well because what happens is people are still getting these really good Weekend League rewards all day and all evening, right? So right now, when I'm recording this video, it'd be like 11 p.m. UK, and people are still finishing Weekend League at 11 UK, midnight, 1, 2, 3 a.m. You know, NA's playing too. So rewards are still coming in, and these meta cards are still dropping late at night. Most times they've often found a low point from like 2 to 4 a.m. UK, and you can flip them in the afternoon for 5 to 10% profit. Cards like Walker and Van Dijk, etc., those are a little bit harder to get good profit on just due to their tax. But the cards that you're looking for to flip that can work really well are actually in that like 20 to 50k range, because when they're still getting that constant supply, it can really make their price fluctuate a lot, right? So here you're seeing he went down. This was like a Sunday. He went down to Saliba went down to 42k. And then later that day, he rose up to 47k, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Those are kind of different times and scenarios where I would look for buying meta cards, and should be either really profitable or help you navigate when to buy for your team to lose as little coins as possible. Thanks, Sean, for having me on the video. Hope it helped you guys out. Talk to you later.
And of course, guys, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to drop a like, but also follow the creators that are helping you guys out. So Jake Foot Trading's link will be down below with all of these other creators, like this next one, who's been one of my best friends in this community for quite some time. Used to be known as Nate Dogmac, part of the OG Market Gurus. And that's an inside joke for, I guess, a few of you guys watching. But he just hit 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. He goes by the name The Fut Accountant. He's an absolutely amazing guy, and he's going to teach you about icon trading.
Hey guys, it's Nate, aka The Foot Accountant. Welcome to Icon Trading in the Ultimate Trading Guide. I want to break down a very daunting trading method because the cards are expensive, but actually they're really insane to trade with each and every day. We're talking quick fluctuation flips on icons, when to buy, when to sell, and when to actually stay away from these types of cards in FC24 Ultimate Team. So let's start from the beginning. When do you want to buy icons? How do you know what is a good price? Well, Footbin is going to help out a lot with that. Guys, icon trading is all about knowing the prices. I love this players page on Footbin. For this, I'm going to search by league icon and then sort by price. And it's going to sort all the icons from most expensive to cheaper, whatever budget you're in. You can find your spot in here. And I love these little red and green percentage change points here on Footbin. This gives you a good baseline idea of if an icon is low or if it is up. I'm going to click on Del Piero for right now because I know this is an icon that fluctuates very well. He is up right now, 700,000 coins. Then we go into the graphs and see Del Piero was 655 yesterday. Looks like between 650 and 700 every day on this game. 644, 680 on Tuesday. Today, 650 he was just a few hours ago, and now he's 700,000 coins. This is the basics of icon trading. Find the fluctuations during the day, see a low point, and see the high point, buy when the card gets down to the low point, and then wait for it to go back to the high point. You're hoping that that is going to happen within a short amount of time, because since it is a bit more of a risky trade, we just had an undercut here for Del Piero, right? 675. If I'm selling at 700,000 coins, though, I can't buy that card. I got to worry about the 5% of tax, which at 700,000 coins is 35,000 coins per card. So 650 or below would be the price that I would want to pay for a Del Piero, because then if I'm able to sell at 700, I'm making 15,000 coins. Preferably a 640 would be a great price for a Del Piero, because then I would make more than that. That's the biggest thing when trading with icons, is figuring out your tax and buying at the low point, selling at the high point. Really, that's all that it is, guys. It's looking at Footbin, watching these fluctuations, finding cards within your budget, and you'll figure this out as you go too, and you'll trade with some icons. And guys, the best way to learn to trade with icons is to buy them, to try the flips, look at the graphs, see when they're low, buy them, watch them go up, but then also is with failed flips. If I bought this Blanc or this Ballack at 400K and I was like, oh, he went to 422, that's not really that much profit. Or yesterday he went to how much? 420, so I really wouldn't buy him at 400K. But let's say I bought him at 380, and then for the next day or two, he only went up to like 400K and I'm breaking even. I would say, all right, for whatever situation we had in the market, or maybe it's just this icon in general right now, he didn't have that good of fluctuations. You'll learn that certain icons are better to trade with than others, because people just prefer those icons in game, or they're more meta for the playstyles that they have. This Del Piero is a very rare card. You can see by how few cards he has on the market, and he sells very well because it's Del Piero and because he got the really good playstyle plus. That's one thing I will tell you with these icons is learn the ones that just get to be flipped a little bit better, and learn prices. Now, when should you avoid icons? This is when you should avoid icons. We haven't had any promo icons yet, but they're coming soon. This is when prices on icons drop a lot. Their prices are pretty steady for the most part, just because they're so rare. But apart from normal market crashes that impact the whole rest of the market, new promo icons for a certain card will destroy that icon's price. This happened last year with Trophy Titans. This Philip Lahm came out and was super packable. He was 480,000 coins. The prime Philip Lahm, which was 2 ratings below the big bro Trophy Titan, was, at the time that that Trophy Titan came out, 400,000 coins, right? 411K on Thursday, April 6th. He went all the way down to under 200,000 coins because this card came out. It was better. There was a little bro version as well that was almost as good as the prime. And that's the biggest thing you have to be careful with icons in this game, is the promo versions that get released. So leaks are very helpful for that. Once you start seeing leaks for a certain icon, whether it's an SBC or for a player that's going to be in packs, player prices for that card will probably drop a lot. But that's icon trading in a short form, guys. You buy when it's low, you sell when it's high. You have to be cognizant of the other market trends, right? If the market's crashing, icons are going to crash too. If the promo that's upcoming looks insane, these cards are going to get panic sold as well. But it's all about the fluctuations. So find the good cards, add some to your transfer targets, use the Footbin tracker to help you watch fluctuations as well. And buy when they're low, sell when they're high, and give it a shot. You'll find that it's really fun. Cards can move 50, 100,000 coins in matters of minutes, and 10, 15-minute time frames. You can make really good profits on these cards because they're rare, and that's the biggest key.
And of course, guys, don't forget to follow Nate. Links down below. Next up is LE96Z, showing you guys how to do solution trading, which has been a very big way to make coins in EAFC 24 so far.
Oosh, LE96. How are you doing, the boys? Sean, thank you so much for letting me on this video, but I am going to be going through my favourite trading method in EA Sports FC. Now, this method is very, very difficult, but as you can see here, I've got a ton of bronze cards. I started a new account yesterday where I'm going to trade from 0 to 1 million coins, and already this method has been absolutely carrying. So if you're on a low budget, and to be honest, even if you're not on a low budget, you need to know this method because it absolutely prints coins. If you go on the internet, or if you go pretty much anywhere on Instagram or Twitter, people post solutions for different squad building challenges, and these players that I'm using here have been used in squad building challenge solutions. So what I was doing was buying these for really cheap and selling them for really high, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this method. If you understand it, you can make an absolute ton. So for this, I'm going to be using Footbin. It's really, really good. I wish I was sponsored by them, but I'm not. What we're going to use for this is the SBCs tab. So if you come over to this tab at the top and click on active SBCs. So what you need to do now is basically scroll down and you need to go and find yourself some squad building challenges that have been recently released which give out good packs. As I'm recording this, it is Friday morning and Marquee Matchups has literally just come out. So this is going to be perfect to do this with. But basically what you're looking for is this little new tab over here. I can't hover around it, but you can see next to the name it says new. And what you're also looking for is a good like to dislike ratio. Never use an SBC like this where it's been downvoted into oblivion. Make sure it's a pretty neutral rating or a positive rating. They usually work the best. And make sure that the SBC has only just come out within the past day or 2 days maximum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click onto the Marquee Matchups, and what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to scroll down to where it says completed challenges, and I'm going to open both of these in a new tab. I can't use Milan and Juventus because for some reason Footbin is glitched at the minute for this one specifically, and as you can see when I click on completed challenges there's nothing there. You don't have to use this specific Marquee Matchups. For example, if you're watching this video a bit later on, this will still work as long as you follow that criteria of it's just been released and it's got good ratings. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click onto the squad building challenges, and what we need to look for is this, powered by Footbin AI, and we want the SBC to be created within the past 5 minutes. If it's any longer than 5 minutes, you're too late to the party. This moves very, very quickly. That's why it's so hard, because you can lose coins with this, but the coins that you can make back are ridiculous. So what you need to do is basically find a new powered by Footbin AI SBC. The reason why you don't use community squads is because people will build these and price fix before you, so you will always be late. However, with the AI, they're doing it themselves, so there's no way that someone else is going to be price fixing because a bot has literally made this. So at this point, we need to find the newly released SBC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh by using Control and R on PC. I don't know what it is on Mac, but you need to do a hard refresh on both of these. And you're just going to keep refreshing over and over again until a new SBC pops up. And what we're looking for is a newly listed one that's just been created within the past few seconds. So after this refresh, as you can see, this one has just been posted 1 second ago, and we were pretty quick to see it. And there is a ton of players in it. So let's jump back over to EA Sports FC. The first player I want to check is going to be the striker, which is Borja Val, and let's go and see how much he's selling for. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is basically a few pages of the card. There's only 3 pages of it, and if there's quite a low number of pages, that does mean that we are going to be able to make more profit with this card. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up every single card under 500 coins as part of this solution. Now, this isn't the hard bit. The hard bit is successfully selling these players on, because you are going to be selling these cards basically to people who use the squad building challenge solution to complete the squad building challenge, but more importantly, traders who think that they can make a bit of profit by doing basically what we're doing. So we are basically selling to people who are too late to the party, and that's why we only pay maximum probably about, well, in this instance I'm paying maximum 800 coins because it's a silver, but typically I'd never pay any more than like 500 coins. So I've just bought all of these cards for under 800 coins. So now, hopefully, if that SBC solution stays at the top, this card should go up. Step number 1, don't get greedy. If the player starts to go up, do not try and sell it at 3,000, 4,000 coins. They will not sell if the demand is not there. And when you're listing the cards up, make sure to sell your cheapest ones first and do them one by one. So that means that once one's sold, sell the other one on, and just stagger them to the tiniest bit, because if you flood the market, what will actually happen is the cards won't sell on. So I'm just going to go back over just to his price just to double check to see what he's going for. As far as I'm aware, he's still at the top of the solutions, which is very good for us. So hopefully at this point he should still be going for a pretty decent amount, which he is. He's going for about 1,200. I think the absolute max that I could sell him for would probably be 1,000 coins, but I am not going to get greedy, because now if I come over and take a look and go over, I should be able to see our Borja Vals have just sold on at 800 coins. I've got 15 cards, so that's going to be roughly around 3 to 4k on this batch. Now you can do this as many times as a new solution will pop up, which could be maybe 4, 5, 6 times an hour, and you're going to be making yourself around 20,000 coins per hour, which is absolutely brilliant on a low budget as well.
Make sure to drop Lewis a follow down below, and our next guest is probably the most handsome of them all. Welcome to Compliment Link Investing, guys. So I've got a low budget investment and a high budget investment that are currently on my transfer list that I made as a Compliment Link. Now, if you guys have been subscribed to the channel and have been following the Trade into Glory, you've probably made coins off this method already, but let's start with Sildilia. I picked up these cards here. I tried to get them with Anchor or Shadow on them already, and that way they have even more value to the card, but I picked them up because they were RTTKs and out of pack. So I used some of those investment methods that we learned from Nate and from Jake earlier today. But this Sildilia card for 16,000 coins, I knew was going to rise out of packs because of a link that a lot of people were going to go out and get, which was the Kone storyline card. Kone's storyline card you get from level 40 of the season objectives. Now you do have a choice between him, Cunha, and a pack. But some of the community is going to choose, of course, Kone, which is a card that could definitely fit in a lot of people's starting 11. But you still have to link him somehow, and there's not been a ton of cards that have come out in Bundesliga so far this year that you can really link Kone with. Both Player of the Months weren't great, and we realistically don't have too many metas in that league this year. So Kone needed a link to somebody, and Sildilia, being French and from Bundesliga, on top of having other good reasons to go up, I went out and I picked up a ton of this Sildilia card, and we have held him throughout the last few days. With more and more people getting to level 40 and more people choosing Kone, as you can see, Sildilia has gone up in price pretty consistently since we bought him. Now, of course, he had already risen a little bit by the time we bought, but he has continued to go up in price to about 20,000 coins now, and we're making about 3,000 to 4,000 coins per card. And as we get closer to some RTTK hype and as more people get to level 40, I'm going to be making even more coins on this card. So I really don't have any reason to sell quite yet. There's another example on my transfer list right now. His name is Luka Modric. This has been one of the best investments so far this year for a medium to high budget. I picked him up at a great time at 204,000 coins. And as you guys can see by his current price, something nice really happened to that card. And we're still holding. He's about 340,000 coins right now. We bought at the perfect time, even sniped him for a little lower than what he was on that lowest day, and he has risen since then, and that is mainly because of the Rodrigo Trailblazers SBC. It's one of the most popular SBCs so far this year, and so a lot of people are going out and getting this Rodrigo tradable or untradeable card out of SBCs, and they've got to link him into their team. And so that Real Madrid link is very, very valuable. Now, you'll notice that when I Compliment Link Invest, I'm choosing players that also have other reasons to go up, and not just because they get a link. One thing about Modric is that he is an RTTK. So those RTTKs being dynamic give another characteristic of value to that card going up in price. If I'm investing maybe in a link Rashford, I want to make sure that I'm following Jake Fodder Trading's idea of meta investing, and I'm not buying Rashford at a high point when I need him to link to a possible, I don't know, Harry Maguire 99 rated SBC or whatever. So I need to know where is the market at that point. For Modric, the market was low already, so it made it a second reason that that card would go up. So when we're Compliment Link investing, that is something that you need to consider. And as we get new leaks and new cards getting into the game, of course, the Trade into Glory will update you with all of that. So make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And our next trader is somebody I've been doing a podcast with over the course of the EAFC 24 cycle. His name is John Sims, and he's really good at trading with fodder.
Hello, my name is John Sims, and I'll be covering fodder and kind of market predictions for the Ultimate Trading Guide. When we talk about SBC demand, when we talk about supply and demand on fodder, the main thing we need to consider are SBCs and the amount of supply coming in. So I like to look at these big cards in the old crashes, because I like to see when that heavy levels of supply come in. That usually will tell me that there is going to be high levels of supply. When that high levels of supply come in, guess what happens? That means that we're going to get hit on the fodder market typically. There's mainly two things that affect the fodder market: SBCs coming in and SBCs leaving. Besides that, all you have is the amount of people opening and ripping through packs. So I guess there's three. But SBCs coming in, SBCs leaving. So what I always recommend doing whenever you guys are on here is look at of course, the new SBCs, and then it'll show you what's new and what's popular, all that type of thing. But not only that, but hit the expiring. Because when you hit the expiring, it will tell you what's going out of packs in the next 24 to 48 hours. And typically, when we see a lot of upvotes, it's a good way to see that might be a lot of demand leaving. Therefore, when demand goes down, prices follow. So I do this just about every single day. But like right now, 84 is at 1.2. It's 100% safe because it can't go lower. But we don't know the time frame on that. And so that's what we try to help you out with. But the idea here is like when we pulled in on these 89s earlier, we made the call. Elite and I both called this big boom, right? And this big boom, the only thing is, we knew this was going to happen at some point. The thing about it is it's all due to metrics, understanding where the supply is coming. Hopefully that helps you guys out with my segment on some of the fodder. That's kind of an introduction just to some base level fodder of how I predict market movements, how I predict supply coming in, how I also predict demand coming in, and how to know what to kind of go into. It's really going to be those requirements on those SBCs.
Hi everyone, I'm Horatio. You might know me from Twitter. I generally deal with kind of low budget, high return moves. And I'm just going to go over one of the easiest and kind of base points of trading today, which is club stocking. It's easy, it's lazy, and it's crazy profitable. Okay, so let's get into it. Point number one, informs. Every single year, every single team of the week, there's always 4 or 5 absolutely useless cards that remain base price for a few weeks. Okay, now we want those cards. So all we want to do is throw in a few bids at absolute min price and just stick one of each in our club and forget about them until we really need them, okay? Now, if you do this for each team of the week throughout the year until the absolute most needed point, which I'll come back to in a moment, you'll make so much money, it's ridiculous, and so much money that you forgot you could make as well. So what happens is, generally every cycle, we get a few casino SBCs that will come a little bit later that normally require 2 team of the weeks. Now, by this point, no one's really paid any attention to them and they absolutely shoot up in demand, okay? Which means the price goes absolutely sky high. And I think every year, a lot of informs have just gone extinct, like absolutely useless cards. But we profit off that because we've got a nice little collection of them stuck in our club that we've forgotten about, that we've never used and never intended to use, that we can just throw onto the market for what is probably going to be 150 to 200% profit. And this happens every year. No matter what brilliant traders that you follow on Twitter or TikTok or whatever, most of whom are going to be better than me, I can guarantee you they all do this just because it's such easy money. So you want to allocate about 10% of your budget, just get a few of those useless team of the weeks in your club, forget about them, make profit later in absolute bank style. Okay? Now, point number 2, and everyone hates this, but I'm going to stick to it anyway. Consumables. We love consumables. And the reason we love them is because 90% of the time, no one pays them any thought. So we're talking manager leagues specifically. They're fantastic to use. Chem styles are absolutely brilliant to use, and managers themselves actually are quite brilliant to use. So if you just club stock a dead cheap manager from each nation in your club, at some point an SBC or an objective would drop for, preferably something that's a little bit meta but a weird nation. To get max chem on that, you need a manager to kind of correlate to that player. Everyone needs it, so the demand for those managers shoots through the roof that's never been there before. Okay, so just stick them in your club, forget about them until they're needed. Consumables otherwise, so manager leagues have pretty much the same effect. So for example, in the Eredivisie, there are no default managers, none whatsoever. So if a good objective or an SBC drops for a player that looks quite OP, I mean, to a lot of players, they probably won't have a second sniff at it, but a large portion of the database looks at that cheap SBC with a fast player and thinks, I need to get it in my team. So they can't just buy a manager off the market. They need to buy a random nation manager and then have to apply an Eredivisie manager league card. And that is where they go through to the absolute moon, right? So just bid on them when there's absolutely no demand for them whatsoever. So a good time for that is after market matchups on a Thursday, or if we get promo packs in the form of mega packs. Something that's going to drop a lot of consumables. Throw a few bids in, stick them in your club, forget about them until something drops, profit off it. Absolutely easy, right? Third one are the dead end cards that are in promo teams, right? And a lot of people won't agree with this, but this does genuinely have something to it every single year. We're not talking mega bucks here, like we can with informs and consumables. But for example, we've got Herrera, who's in the Trailblazers team at the moment. He's useless. Like, he's a funky nation. No one really cares about it. But he's discard, so just buy one, stick it in your club. Eventually, something will come to make him rise. He'll be out of packs, so there's no supply. And at some point, all the little Timmies will just, the little default brains will just go straight to linking whatever random objective or SBC has dropped. And these players do generally go up later on in the cycle. Now, in previous years, we've known these cards to go extinct, but the game's a little bit different now, and I don't think that's the case. So you're probably looking at 4 or 5k profit at best here, but they're just worth having in your club to come back to later, just make an easy profit of, right? And I mean, just because I've gone through those 3 principles, there's a lot more things that you can look to invest in that add up to exactly the same point of value, where all the supply is now and you expect the demand to be later. If you see that opportunity, get stuck in, do it, you won't regret it. Okay? Thanks, guys.
That's it for the ultimate trading guide of EAFC 24. We're gonna shoot for the highest like goal we ever have before, 2,000 likes. Can we hit that? And make sure to follow all of the traders listed down in the description. If you made it through this entire half-hour video, I want you guys to comment down below which trader was your favorite, and I'm gonna make sure to show my appreciation to you guys. I'll drop a heart on every single one of those comments. I'll see you guys again in the next video. Peace out.